So, good morning, Ali. I'm speaking to you from Hong Kong. Ali Hong is our head of Korea and based in Seoul. And how are things in Seoul, Ali?
Everyone heard about great news how we reacted as a government, the situation is quite better now. I would say daily the confirmed cases, number of the confirmed cases got lower, so around 50 people, 50 cases. So it's compared to the beginning when we had like more than 100 every day. It's better situation now.
That's great news. Internationally, Korea is being praised for how well it managed the emergence of the pandemic within the country, particularly because the country did a lot of testing. A lot of people were tested. Is that something that was experienced by our teams in Seoul, or was that something that was in the secondary cities?
It's all over the country. Yeah, because as you know, the virus infection was heavily impacted one of our third largest city, which is Seoul.
Yeah.
Government is doing is not only focusing on the major city, but all over the nations.
Right. Well, that's great. And during this time, because we were talking months now, it seems that we've been living with the coronavirus pandemic. How has that impacted the executive center's business in Seoul? Have you remained operational, or were there periods of time when you had to close?
Well, fortunately, we don't have any confirmed cases happen among our team members as well as our members. Yeah, so we have never closed our operation at all in any location.
That is great news. So you remained operational throughout. I know that you were actually, when the pandemic began, you were actually in the midst of expanding your business, the size of the center at Gangnam Finance Center. Did that expansion proceed?
Very luckily, not affected by the virus because all the construction and the opening was done December 1st. So we were so lucky. We just slightly, we were safe. But actually, we are now affected for the level 41st because it's under renovation.
You're a market, you're a country that was heavily impacted by coronavirus, and yet you have managed it, and you have continued to operate throughout that period. We operate with an idea of embracing our members, and we are a service business. Have you had any extra steps or changes in behavior that you've had to implement to interact with the clients?
Absolutely. As I mentioned, the government-wise, we have done a good exercise and control the cases and all that. But I would say technically, this massive infection experience was the first time for us. We experienced SARS, we experienced MERS. However, it wasn't this much serious. I would say second country, city, right after Wuhan,
Yes.
we had a massive infection spread. So immediately what we have done with the team was we requested help from the headquarters. And marketing was with us, and operation team was with us, and we set up SOP what we have to do from now on in this emergency situation. And the first thing what we did was we sent out a message and notice to our client and members that make them feel that we are aware of this and we take it seriously and we care about their safety and health. And second, what we have done is we also need to take care of our team members. So we also checked with our teams, and we also sent out the travel clear form and to to find out any infected area, travel experience among our team members as well as our TC clients. We set hand sanitizer, and we also sanitizing spray every day, and also deep cleaning we have done also, not only by the building but ourselves. Deep cleaning and de-infection working done by us.
So that's excellent. And Korea, together with China, was one of the markets from which we also as a company learned how to react to this spreading pandemic. And we now have standard operating procedures across all markets that address both how to manage the day-to-day, but also if there's an incident in one of our centers. So looking forward, 6 months out, 12 months out, Ali, what's your aspiration for your market for Seoul in the medium future?
People are careful and cautious about their business expansion or their business plan or development in Korea, entering to the market and all that at the moment. However, I also feel that people, now they're working from home. Like 70% of our clients are still not coming back to the center. And most of the companies are practicing working from home or flexible working hours and all these, different types of working solutions. And I think that gives people to think about a working office solution. This has to be always like 7 years, 10 years, long-term conventional space, having a big space for them, or, this kind of crisis, I think brought a lot of attention from the people to think of different types and style of a working environment and lifestyle.
I'm 100% in agreement with you. We're seeing it across all of the markets, even in these early weeks of the impact of Corona on the business, that companies, particularly multinationals, are turning their back on taking space directly with landlords for a long fixed period, but are moving to a flexible solution. Because really in these times, this year, next year, these next few years, flexibility in business is going to be fundamental, because we all know that the markets will recover, but we also know that there'll be ups and downs. Things we've learned is that we're a very strong company ourselves, because we are a network of 32 cities, and we've always been a network distributed. So you're running a very strong business in Seoul, and the same is occurring in other markets. Well, listen, Ali, thank you very much for joining me this morning. I wish you all the best. For these next few weeks, and please stay safe and healthy. And all my very best to your team and to your members.